Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.
Yup, welcome back to another episode of Brunch with the Fellas, bringing you the latest trending topic news. I'm your host, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with mi primo, el señor, temporada, el frio, aka cold seasons.
That's right. What's up, big dog?
And we the Brunch Fellas. I'm cool. And how you feeling, big cuz?
Man, I'm good. I'm just sitting back, kind of winding down from after the Christmas break, and then we got to go straight into New Year's, and then we having a New Year's party, and so I'm just trying to have a little chill before the spill.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That sounds like some good fun and everything, man. We got some good topics tonight for the viewers out there, y'all. Make sure before we get into tonight's topics, make sure to like and share this video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Brunch with the Fellas. Also, real quick, y'all, we got 25% off holiday sale going on right now. The whole entire website at DBCHEFTV gift shop. Link is in the description. And also, don't forget to get that 1016 160 self-sustainability by Ali Dawood L at www.bksoulfarm.com. You need to have that for all weathers, all year, all seasons. That's what we need to get. So we appreciate y'all going over there, supporting the channel. And you know how we say, if money's tight, it's all right. You can just smash the like. So let's go ahead. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into these topics for tonight. So we got 3 topics as always on Brunch with the Fellas. We want to say R.I.P. to Vince Zampella, video game legend. And man, he died in a horrible car accident. But we're gonna take a look at that, and we're gonna take a look at some of the, some of his legacy a little bit. We're gonna go over some things. I think Cold Seasons got some things that he gonna share with us about Vince. Also, we got Kansas City Chiefs are leaving Missouri. They leaving Missouri. A lot of people think that Kansas City is in the state of Kansas, but it's actually in Missouri. So we're going to take a look at that. Plus, I got some stories to share because I used to have a little shooby-dooby out there in Kansas City. But third topic tonight, in Atlanta, we're going to take it to the ATL. We're going to take it to the ATL. We're going to A-Town. And we're going to check out this Atlanta former vice president of housing in Section 8. Just got a huge fraud indictment. And it's tough out here, y'all. So we're gonna take a look at some of these videos, and then we're gonna share our reactions and our responses and break this stuff down.
That's
y'all
right.
y'all let us know what y'all think about it.
Yes, sir.
A terrifying moment unfolded on Sunday, December 21st, when witnesses watched video game developer Vince Zampella zoom out of a tunnel in his red Ferrari. In the viral video, which has been circulating online, car enthusiasts can be heard cheering with excitement on the side of the road as the bright red sports car shoots out of the tunnel and whips past them on Angeles Crest Highway, north of Los Angeles. However, the excitement quickly turns to horror when the 2026 Ferrari 296 GTS smashes into a road barrier, with clouds of smoke and dust rising around the crumpled car. As bystanders run toward the accident, the smashed Ferrari ignites, and part of the car becomes engulfed in flames. Witnesses can be seen pulling the ejected passenger seat away from the crash, with Zampella still strapped in the driver's seat. The 55-year-old gaming titan died at the scene, and the passengers succumbed to their injuries at the hospital. Zampella was a video game developer who co-created several best-selling games. He is the former CEO of video game developers Infinity Ward, which became successful with its Call of Duty franchise. He was a known industry figure in the world of gaming and was the head of Respawn Entertainment, which was acquired by video game giant EA in 2017. In a statement, EA said, "This is an unimaginable loss, and our hearts are with Vince's family, his loved ones, and all those touched by his work." Vince's influence on the video game industry was profound and far-reaching. A friend, colleague, leader, and visionary creator, his work helped shape modern interactive entertainment and inspired millions of players and developers around the world. His legacy will continue to shape how games are made and how players connect for generations to come.
Yeah, that's a sad, sad situation right there. We want to say rest in peace to Vince, and prayers and everything, and love to the family, man. That was a tragic situation. Like, my first thing, Cole, is like, what would you do in a situation like that? Like, we watching that, that's so unexpected, you know?
Yeah, it was. It was him and the passenger. I don't know if it's clear yet on who was driving, if it was him or the passenger, but either way, a lot of uh attention goes to him, but it's also someone else that's a little bit below him. There's, I guess, less worth talking about more, and it was two lives that was lost, and that's a really tragic thing. So right in the beginning, like you said, you know, you
Oh, it was a
gotta,
passenger. It was a passenger. The
yeah,
passenger passed away as well.
passenger
Okay.
passed away as well. So I mean, it's two lives that's lost there, and I think that should be one of the main things you focus on is something like that. And a lot of people are like, well, what happened and all the achievements, but the main thing first is that it was two lives and they're gone.
That's
Um,
right.
Second, he changed the game. I mean, the news article said it, but he changed the game with the warfare type of games. You know, he built a whole culture on the Call of Duty name, brand, coding, all that stuff, being able to deliver it to phones without lag time and all that crazy stuff like that. But he definitely shaped something that will go even further into just war games. You know,
Okay. So he
um,
big on the technical aspect of just how users interact with video games.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and there's a lot of people that's trying to mimic it, and they coming into getting close to doing it. But you know how you got that original one, and then people kind of tried a little bit. It just don't fit just
That's
right,
right.
and he really did it. I wouldn't say that I'm a gamer, but when it comes to like Call of Duty, I'm not a big Madden guy. I'm not a big NBA guy on those games and all that stuff like that. 2K. Um, I'm one of them war guys. Open play. You can run up into any building and jump into any car. That's the type
Yeah.
of games that I like. And he's one of the pioneers of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think him being gone is definitely he's going to be missed. Is not going to stop the evolution from happening, but I definitely think it's going to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Especially he's such an innovator, tragic right before Christmas.
So, and then and it's right before Christmas, but I think something else that needs to be said about that is, um, when you out, you know, um, try to act sensible. If you're with somebody that's not acting sensible, then separate yourself for that moment at least if you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With them
Because
speeding and everything.
right,
Yeah.
and the thing about it that people don't realize is that it was a lot going on right there, and what probably killed them, honestly, what probably killed them, in Norfolk, we got the tunnel that we go through, and Hampton, and when you go through that tunnel, you go down through the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter if it's day or night. If it's night, it's fine. Transition is fine, but when you ride through that tunnel and you leave daylight and you go into dark. And when you
Mm-hmm.
come back into daylight, it's like cutting the light on when you done got up to go to the bathroom in the middle of a night. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a temporary, you're temporarily blinded when you come back into that light, especially if you're traveling at that speed. You're not giving your eyes time to adjust to, and you run into a concrete barrier. So
Yeah, yeah. And I'm
you
sure
know,
they didn't know. They might not have known, been familiar with the road to
right?
know that there was that barrier, but a curve, and
Yeah,
that
it was in the hills of California, right outside of Los Angeles and whatnot.
okay.
So I don't know if they knew it or not, but then another takeaway from it is too is you don't uh I mean, tragic hits you from every angle, no matter what your status is in life.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't think because you know, um, a person could have been driving a Honda Accord through there and died the same way on
Yeah,
a on a,
yeah.
on a on a lower income scale and stuff like that. So just know that you can have all the money in the world and tomorrow can be gone. I know he had plans. I mean, this shit lined up for those people to do tomorrow and probably up for the next couple weeks or months, and it's just gone.
And it's just
So
gone. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it changes everything. Yeah. You're right about that though too. When God says it's time for you to go, you're gonna go. It don't,
yeah,
no matter how much money, big or small. Yeah,
yeah. But
definitely.
he changed the game. Like I sit up here, I play games all the time. Not all the time when I have time to play them. And the Call of Duty thing. It started out on the what PS5s and fours and well even before then, but it
Maybe
started out.
PS3, maybe,
It
right?
started, yeah,
PS3.
it started out on the consoles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it moved here. You know what I'm saying? To where you can play it on your phone.
On
You
your
know what I'm
phone,
saying? This
right.
is literally, the Call of Duty. It's called Call of Duty Mobile. You see it
Yeah, that's
right
it.
there.
Yeah.
You see? So and there's no lag time. I mean, it plays better than the first generation console games that they had, honestly. And
Wow. All credit to Vince, man. That's such a tragic, innovative loss to the space. But like we said, we prayers out to, the Zampella family and you know, let it be a learning lesson for some people. Like
and
Cole was
condolences
saying,
and
definitely.
condolences. Yeah. Learn a
Yep.
lesson and condolences. So yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and move this one on to Kansas City Chiefs leaving Missouri. We're gonna take a quick look at this clip right here.
The Kansas City Chiefs are gearing up for a big move. After more than 60 years of calling Missouri's Arrowhead Stadium home, the NFL team, which features players Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Jalen Watson, and more, is heading across state lines. On December 22nd, the Chiefs take to their official Instagram account to share a statement, writing, "We have entered into an agreement with the state of Kansas to host Chiefs football beginning with the 2031 NFL season. In the years ahead, we look forward to designing and building a state-of-the-art domed stadium and mixed-use district in Wyandotte County, with the team's training facility near Arrowhead also relocating. Altogether, the project is expected to total at least $4 billion in development. The organization claims a stadium of this caliber will put Kansas City in the running for Super Bowls, Final Fours, and other world-class events. Still, the Chiefs make it clear that Arrowhead will always hold a special place in their hearts, adding, "Arrowhead reminds me of family memories and unforgettable moments. But the truth is, what makes Chiefs game days so special is you. Seats don't make noise, concrete doesn't intimidate opponents, parking lots don't cook barbecue, you do."
Yeah, that's pretty dope right there.
Yeah.
Uh, that they moving. But most people don't even realize that Kansas City is in Missouri. It isn't in Kansas. That's always a
Well,
funny thing.
me and you had a conversation about this not too long ago, and I was dumbfounded. You know, I felt like I felt a little stupid for real, you know, because I was just like, what do you mean Kansas City is not in Kansas? You know, and
No,
yeah, when
man.
I found that out, it was definitely a new kind of eye opener, you know.
Yeah, I used to deal with this girl back in the day, and I used to go out there, and she lived in Kansas City. That's where she was from. And one day she was like, "Let's go out." So she was like, "We're gonna drive to Kansas."
Hmm.
So, I'm already thinking, I'm like, hold up, not realizing I just got on an airplane and flew to Missouri. I'm so stuck on Kansas City. Like I'm flying from this place to Kansas City. And I was like, we going to Missouri. Wait, aren't we? I mean, we're going to Kansas City, Kansas. We're going to Kansas. Aren't we already in Kansas? Where are we going? So it wasn't that far. It was maybe like about maybe an hour and 15-minute drive. And it was
Hmm.
this real busy shopping area. They had restaurants and shops and all this stuff. So I'm thinking that that's probably where they going. I didn't look it up to see location, but that's probably where they're going because it was a very affluent area, and it was busy, you know. So I don't think the fans, the people in the city of Kansas City are gonna worry about that. They just gonna have to take a little ride to go to the games now. I think it's gonna
Right,
be too crazy.
right.
But they said it's gonna be a $4 billion construction project. So whoever got getting in on that, that's pretty good. And I wonder what they're gonna do with the old stadium. They're probably gonna utilize it for college games, high school, and
You
things
know, I
like
mean,
that.
a lot of the times, man, them stadiums get demolished, and it'd be an apartment building or something, or a whole complex community there. They don't normally
That
keep them if they don't
that
have a
would be
team,
crazy.
but they don't have nothing to play in it. College games not gonna give them the same revenue, the same revenue. You know, the football stadiums, either the team own the stadium or the sponsor owns the stadium for a little while till it's sold to another sponsor. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
nothing football teams, college football and depending on local promoters to keep a stadium open, it ain't gonna
Right.
happen. It ain't.
Yeah, that'd be crazy though. It would be
Yeah.
nice for them to keep it open though. Change the pace if they were able to. High schools, um, to give the youth somewhere to play and feel, because 67 years, that's a long time to have a stadium, a place that you go. Like when they was talking about the barbecuing and everything, I remember going to in Miami, going to um the Hurricane games, going to the U games. And I mean, it's all about the barbecue. It's all about, you know, the pregame. And that whole experience is like before you go into the game, you get you a full plate, you get sauced up, and then you go in there and enjoy the game. So that
Yeah.
um
Yeah,
that experience is,
it's gonna be gone from that area for sure.
yeah,
If it's
that
been around there
tailgate.
for that long, I mean, those type of moves is kind of, it's kind of a leverage game, you know? What city will pay the most for us to come to the city? And if the next city say they'll give us more kickbacks and everything, then that they'll move to that city. And
Because
I
it's a
think they
business, right?
right, and I think they use that as a tactic because I think every team threatens to leave at some point or the other, even if it's within the state. You see what I'm saying? And it's all about which area is gonna get them more money, you know? Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
is a business and that's what it come down to. If they felt like that they was getting the most bang for their buck where they at, trust and believe they would not be leaving.
They wouldn't be leaving, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and then
believe.
maybe Kansas is where they're going to is closer to other surrounding cities in other states, where people can drive there and get there, a little bit better and stuff like that, but I don't think it's not going to change their fan base, you know what I'm saying? Kansas City,
No,
yeah,
no,
Kansas
because
City fans,
most people, Kansas and Missouri, right there,
yeah.
Yeah, they all are Chief fans. Like, and
Right.
when they
And
roll out, they go.
yeah. And I think they with the extra drive. They're not gonna freak out or crash out about that or nothing.
Yeah,
like,
because the people from Kansas, the state of Kansas, they had to drive to Missouri. They had to drive to Kansas City to come to the games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I guess they look at it like that, a trade-off. You know, y'all did it for 67 years. Maybe we go over here to do it for another 67 years and then bring it back. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. So I think everybody be fine over there. You know what I'm saying? It's creating is they losing jobs in one area and creating jobs in the other. And I'm pretty sure if it's a football job, a person that live 2 hours away, with that schedule and that kind of money, they still gonna drive that 2 hours to go get that check when it's time for that stadium to open. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
believe it.
It is what it is.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump to our third topic tonight, y'all. Make sure to smash that like button. We appreciate it. It's the freest thing you can do, and it help us get this good content in front of people like yourself and into the algorithm. We're gonna head down to ATL, shawty, and we're gonna see what's going on with the vice president of housing and Section 8 just got indicted for fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it's a shame that we keep seeing things like this where people had these government positions and and take advantage of these things. But let's go ahead and get into this clip right quick.
We're learning more information about the federal charges and now former senior vice president of Atlanta Housing faces. Tracy Jones was arraigned on 3 charges just last week. Fox 5's Ray Urena spoke with the U.S. attorney to learn a little bit more about what exactly she's accused of.
Federal prosecutors say a former senior vice president of Atlanta Housing defrauded more than $60,000 from government programs, and now she's facing charges.
It's no small feat to indict or to charge a public official.
Tracy Jones, a former senior vice president at Atlanta Housing, faces charges of conspiracy to commit theft of government funds, wire fraud, and credit application fraud.
She fraudulently obtained Section 8 money. She also fraudulently obtained COVID relief money, and she lied on a mortgage application, claiming that a rental property of hers was not a rental property and that she didn't own other properties.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says Jones served as senior VP of Atlanta Housing's Housing Choice Voucher Program since 2017 and oversaw one of the largest Section 8 programs in the country. Samuel Joseph, Jones's attorney, had no comment on his client's charges.
She used a shell business entity. She used a false affidavit. She convinced friends to lie and present false documents on her behalf. She used a fake name.
Atlanta Housing said in a statement, quote, "As this is an active legal matter, Atlanta Housing is unable to comment at this time. We will follow all appropriate protocols related to both internal and external reviews of all claims." On Monday, Atlanta Housing appointed Shannon Lindsay to serve in Jones's former post.
This is incorrigible behavior, but thankfully, this defendant is now on a track to accept responsibility, plead guilty, and be held accountable for her offenses.
Hertzberg says that Jones is expected to enter that guilty plea to all 3 federal charges in the next few weeks. He also says that her status as a public official will be considered in any potential sentence. At the live desk, Ray Urena, Fox 5 News.
Crazy.
Mrs.
Jones.
Look, Miss Tracy, her middle name is Denise. Miss Tracy Denise Jones. Let me start. Hold on. Let me start off like this, okay. She is innocent until proven guilty. Now, let me say what I got to say. She's dealing with mortgage fraud. You know what I'm saying? COVID-19 PPP money fraud. You know what I'm saying? The fraud of defrauding the actual housing agency fraud. Yeah, she's innocent until proven guilty, but I think they're gonna stick a fork in her. But one thing that I do want to say about that is, um, people hear stories like this, and then they equate the actual program to the action of the person defrauding the program, right? So
Okay.
that housing assistant is a needed thing. You see what I'm saying? But people that don't need it, they'll look at the situation that's tied to the fraud, the alleged fraud that Miss Jones did, to what that agency really stands for. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Her getting fired, people be like, yeah, she need to get fired. She did it, she need to go. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. She got to go. Um, but what it does is there are victims after the fact in a situation like this. You see what I'm saying? And the victim after the fact is when she get removed from stuff like that, the new person got to come in. Everything got to be upended. The waiting list now becomes a longer waiting list because now they have to rechange the checks and balances and stuff like that. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And the thing about it is them changing the checks and balances on the people that are receiving it is a ruse because the real check and balance change needs to be within the administrative part of it. You see what I'm saying? As far as bringing a person in and letting them do it. The stories that they had about her was pretty much that she turned around and she'll let somebody move into the house. They rent the house at full price. One of the stories, they rent the house at full price. And then what she did was had the person that was renting the house file a false police report saying that she was abused by her boyfriend, and somehow that allowed her to change the house into a house that was qualified for HUD because she had a tenant that was dealing with domestic abuse.
Oh wow. So that's how she finessed it.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So she had some things going on with what allegedly, and we do want to say allegedly because they still going to court. She
No,
just
they
lost.
said she indicted. I ain't gonna say
Yeah, she
allegedly. They
she
said
indicted.
she's about to plead guilty and
Yeah,
everything, finally accepting responsibility
I'm
for her actions.
you're right.
She did that. They got her.
Right.
The feds don't, cause the feds don't come get you until they got you.
That's the old feds. These
That's
new
not the
feds,
old feds. No,
man,
that is the
look,
feds.
these new feds is tied down with a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason why she got caught because she's a high profile black person in Atlanta. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
now
That's
it's
why
cause
she
she
got caught.
black. Everybody black in Atlanta. What you mean?
Except for the people that came to pick her ass
The
up.
lady that got replaced though
Shit.
was black.
Hey, the people that picked her
They
up
put
on black, I can tell
they
you
put
that
another
for
black
real. You know
lady
what I'm saying?
into everybody who replaced it. That's
Nah,
crazy.
but I think it's high profile for that. I think it's high
Shout
profile
out
for that.
Reese 750 77553. Appreciate you pulling up, baby.
Yes, sir. What up, Reese?
Our case been going on for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely though,
But
I
I
mean,
just don't want in situations like this, I mean, it's all gonna come out in the wash and everything. I just don't want people to tie things that are done that people need done in services to a person that does a disservice while in a position at that service.
it makes sense though. I understand your logic.
You know,
We live in a world where people gonna do that automatically. Where they gonna say, well, um, that's why the whole program needs to go away. Like to your point, the whole program needs to go away, or it needs to be reduced, or it needs to be this, that. And like you said, like it's gonna be things that get modified and delay processes that don't need the comb. But I mean, it's one of them things though. It's like when you start to work on a project or refurbish something, it's like you really can't take a shortcut. You might say, and I know this may be very simple. This may be a very simple correlation and not in depth, but like if I'm gonna paint a wall, like I might need to sand it first, unless it's a brand new wall, you know.
right.
And sometimes a person would just grab the paintbrush and just start going, and then realize like, you know, well, let me sand a little section, then they see how smooth it was in the application, and you know, so it may need that sometimes, you know, sometimes things need that fine tooth comb because you don't know who helped. Like right now it's just her, and you know, this case been going on for a while. So
Well, part of the problem with the case is that a lot of a big factor of the case was the nepotism part, and a big factor of the case is allegedly her family. She brought her family in. She was filling the houses up with her family members, and then
okay,
after that, she was buying houses and saying it's her primary house. I mean, she was buying houses and saying that she didn't have no other houses. She was lying on the mortgage applications and shit like that.
yeah, and
And
that's something they don't check. That's something they don't
right,
they don't like go and look up a tax record. But you know, you
right.
could, but
She was lying on the form.
yeah,
She was
but
lying
if
on the form from her own agency where she
that's what
was in
I'm saying though.
charge.
So if you
You
just
know,
put
so
somebody else's name on it and they're there to receive the mail, then you know, it's
yeah.
really a sad situation, but it's difficult to be able to, because people go out here, and I'm sure, you know, we highlighting her case, but it's so many people who on the same type of, you know,
But
fraud.
this what I want to say to people too about that situation. Um, they still coming after people asses for that PPP
For that
shit.
PPP, ain't
You know what I'm saying? So
it?
all y'all niggas that went and did it, look, and don't be calling me Sambo and putting a coon on me and all that bullshit, dog. But all y'all niggas that did that PPP shit, yeah,
Yeah, they coming for that
they're coming
ass.
for you, and not just niggas, but white people, everybody. They It's a
Anybody.
real thing now. The courts and everything, all the checks and balances might be bogged down for now, but I guarantee you, 5, 6 years from now, people they still gonna be coming for y'all asses. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad I didn't do. I thought about it, cuz really did. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? I think I could. And then I just thought about, man, I don't know, like that. It's some money, but by the time they catch me, it's gonna be gone, and then I'm gonna be locked up. I
Well,
ain't with the
you
shit.
know, I mean, that could have been the case, but what one of the key things was about that was that your business needed to be established before
Right.
the PPP thing. And this is where talking about Miss Jones and her paperwork,
Mhm.
okay? Where is that checks and balances? Like, so she can just put a fraudulent name on a piece of paper. There wasn't any verification process of these things, right?
Right.
So with the PPP, it was emergency funds. So they just was like, okay, cool. If you got a business, the EIN match, blah, blah, blah. They not checking to see LLC date or INC date. They're not looking at these things. And that to me right there, if they would have just checked like, okay, did you just start this business? Because there's no way if you just started this business that you need paycheck personnel protection. you
Right.
know.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, like you
Man,
don't need that.
and
You just started the business.
the people that did it was so bogus. I mean, you had people that had 19 businesses, 19, and collected on all 19
On
of them.
19. And
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
where I'm like, that's where I'm
It's
just like,
crazy.
okay,
And
somebody
I
had to see.
and matter of fact, I don't know I can't say the exact name right now, but the 19, we can look it up. The 19 was a damn ex professional athlete. No bullshit.
Yeah, but that's because, you know, a lot of people are lazy, right? So because people are genuinely lazy, they won't go and do all of the research. They'll trust one person who says, you could do this, and all you have to do is this. And there's so many people that'll fall for the all you have to do is, and then they do that part, and then they be like, oh man, like that wasn't all I had to do. I had to do more, you know, or more is required.
Mhm.
But they already paid their price of admission. You know, they went through it. Or somebody like, all you gotta do is this, I'm gonna do the rest. And you have no knowledge of what the rest is. And then now later on down the line, now
Yeah.
the rest is you getting arrested.
Right.
or you potentially being arrested and having to, be forthcoming and be like, I was lazy, I trusted them, they got a commission, I paid them, blah blah blah. But let's say even if you didn't have a business, if you received some money and you just started a business, then those people still have to repay because your business had to be ongoing prior to the pandemic versus it's 2023. They still giving out PPP loans. I'm gonna go get one. I just started my business in 2022.
That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. I don't think no business person would even think that. I mean, I think everybody that did it fraudulently. I would even be gracious and say 95%. 95% of the people that got PPP loans and it's something wrong with it, they fucking knew before they ever even put that application.
Before they
in.
filed, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why they coming for that ass. So
Yeah,
know,
they come, and it was a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
it was a whole lot of money.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's let's just hope that they did some good with it to the point where because they come to lock you up and they gonna make you pay.
Yeah, but they did. They enjoyed their life. People was buying pink Bentleys and shit like that, and buying, So
yeah,
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
My main thing was knowing better that I don't need to. I had a problem with the stimulus checks. I got backlash from that because I was having a conversation with somebody and I was just like, they shouldn't have sent out the stimulus checks the way they did. And they were just like, what you mean? Like you ain't get your check. You trying to, that's what they said. They said, you trying to kill us. That's what he said. He said, you're trying to kill us. And I was like, I'm trying to kill you. I said, bro, you might have needed a stimulus check because you lazy. The guy I was talking to. So you might have needed one because you a bum. You live with your mama in the basement, okay? And you don't aspire to do nothing else above that. All right? Your kids don't even live with you. All right? So
God damn, why you gotta hit a nigga so hard, man? Fuck.
But that's how he living. You know what I'm saying? That's his truth. That's what it he shouldn't have a problem with it because I say it if that's how you really living. Okay. So saying that but the extreme is saying that I'm trying to kill you because he doesn't want to wait for the logic in why I'm saying that they shouldn't have given out them checks the way they gave them out. One, the economy, inflation's going to happen. And we've seen, and we're living through that because it was free money just put out to the economy. Okay. Then there wasn't a way to repay it if you didn't need it. So at that time, I'm on active duty. All right. I don't make a whole lot of money, but what I have that a lot of people don't have is I have personal finance management discipline. Okay. So I don't need to be a millionaire. I just need to be disciplined with what I have and know how to manage it correctly. All right. That's it. I don't need to have millions and billions of dollars. When I get there, that's cool. That's fine. All right.
When it came, I didn't have no personal management, financial assistance agreements.
So you blew the money. Blew the money.
No. What I'm saying is I had a good job, a car note, had a dope apartment and everything. When the pandemic hit and they motherfucking cut me at my job and I wasn't saved up and stacked up the way I needed to be, when that check came, I was happy that it came.
Okay,
you know
that's
what I'm
cool.
saying? Now I can't say that I supported everything that was behind the shit, but I needed that motherfucking money right then and there.
That's cool.
And
that's cool. And that's fair, right? But you had a job, you had an apartment, you had responsibilities that you were attending. You wasn't living off of mama dime.
No,
okay.
Not at all. Not at all.
So this doesn't apply to you. Like I was saying, is that me having those disciplinary practices with my own finances, right? I didn't need that check. All right. So I don't know who else was in that situation that didn't need that check. But what they didn't do was they didn't offer a way to pay it back. Okay. So that's what I would have liked. And that was my whole argument for the dude was talking about they was gonna kill, I'm trying to kill people. And even what you just saying, explaining your situation, how you needed, how it hit at the right time. Okay. But some people didn't need it. So for those who didn't need it, there wasn't even an option to say, okay, I could just go on pay.gov and you could pay back your STEMI check.
Or put it towards your taxes.
Or whatever. You could just pay it back. You could just be like, here, and they put it in some type of fund that go to something else, So it was wasteful. And that's why I looked at it. Not to the people that needed it. Okay. But to a lot of people walking around feeling entitled, like you ain't get your check. You ain't get your check.
You don't think the majority? You don't think the majority of people that got it needed it?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Not the majority.
Not the majority. Well,
not the majority.
Well,
nobody.
0 to 100. How many? What's the percentage like? How many?
0 to 100.
Yeah, on the percentage.
I would say maybe 40.
I think 40. You think 40% of people
did not need it?
Didn't need it?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I think 40% of people did not need it. I know nobody in the military needed it.
You can't say that.
I can say that. Because we still had a paycheck ongoing.
Yeah.
So even if you was living paycheck to paycheck, that's just bad management of your finances. That's not you need an extra $1,000 or $1,200.
So
you know what I'm saying? That's not you need that money. That's just
this would be a topic that we bring up later on. As far
you would take it, but it's not a need though. Because if they not offering it, then you don't have it, and you still have to manage what you have.
Right, but I think not everybody, but I think it's more like 60% of people needed it. Well, that's 40% that don't need it.
So what are we talking about here? So what are we talking about here? I agree.
Okay, but also, I believe but you said everybody in the military didn't need it.
Everybody in the military didn't need it.
Not everybody.
Federal workers who make more than some people in the military didn't need it, and my thing was,
but it's no way to know. There's no way to know that.
Yes, I
do.
Yes, I do.
There's no way to know what other people like really needed. You know what I'm saying? Like a person can be dealing with some medical shit and it's just busting their ass, and that little bit of money help them out.
No, because it's not life changing.
No, it's not. The stimulus check won't life changing.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm only talking about.
I ain't got a check. I ain't never got a check in my life yet that was life changing. For real. I got a check
that was life changing. It was my military career check. It's my pension.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I worked for that, and it was consistent. It was every 1st and 15th, and every 30th, and every So that is life changing if I develop financial management and discipline, budget management, then it will change my life. But if I look at it like, shit, I could spend that one like I did early in my career. I could spend this one because I'm about to get another one on the 15th. Then guess what? I'm going to be struggling for a long time. And then I'm going to retire, and then I'm going to realize, damn, I got to go back to work. I did it. I know what I'm talking about. I'm doing this now.
Right, but that don't say that everybody in the military. Now, what you're saying is that the people in the military that needed it, they managed their shit wrong. But I'm just saying that some people needed that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it came through.
Fair, that's fair. That's fair. That's just what I said. So yeah, that's fair.
Like some people needed that jump.
That's fair.
Hey, look. At that point, they didn't even care where the fuck it came from.
With the comments they say, but you still have struggling military families that are on government assistance that need it. Like you can't be on the lowest person on a totem pole makes above the poverty line. The lowest person, E1, makes more than makes enough money to not be on any public assistance. You have people frauding out here, to go to your comment section. You have people not claim. So like what somebody would do is, I'll tell you how I run down real quick because we running this show a little long, but we got the chats going live. So like, let's say if I don't get married, all right, and then my wife got their last name different than mine, but we got kids and then we live somewhere or whatever, then if we not married and then she go and she want to get food stamps and stuff like that, then we could play it like that. That's the type of stuff that's going on. Okay. But you can't get married and have a social security number unless you're frauding, and that shit will catch up with you, because like you'll have to pay it back. Anybody who know, like if you've ever been on any type of public assistance and then they find out that there's a father and they find out that they make money, they're going to start garnishing your wages. At some point in time, it may not come back on you now. It might show up on you 10 years later, So you can fraud all you want to try. But soon as there is, like Coach Caesar was saying earlier, some type of audit or something like that, like they're going to catch you. And then you're going to have to pay. So hopefully you were saving up some pennies, well, you can't save pennies no more because they don't print them. But hopefully you were saving up some nickels and dimes, so that way you're able to pay for your crime a little bit later on down the road. Okay. But we saw government employees during the shutdown that needed assistance, but not military families, because they were still getting paid. And there's a difference. There's a government employee, and then there's a person who receives their paycheck from the Department of Defense military salary. Okay.
But I thought when the military, when the shutdown came down, because there was a lady on the news talking about her disabled kid and her
That's social
husband.
services. That's social security and all that type of stuff. That ain't the military.
Okay, so they still got their check, but still the families lost the other government.
So if you were
assistance.
furloughed, certain people who were furloughed, they didn't get paid. All right. But it was
Right.
temporary. Like,
Yeah, I know, as long as the shutdown was going.
yeah, it was temporary.
Yeah.
It was till the funding happened, till they passed a new budget.
Right, right. The
Okay?
new bill, Mike Johnson. I'm
Right.
hip to
So
that.
so when they did that, was people got back paid. But what it showed you is that some of those government employees, all right, who were part of that 60% who we were just discussing, who needed those checks, those were some of those people who have poor financial management, poor personal financial management, because they gotta go to a food bank.
I mean, yeah.
Or they need some assistance when stuff hit the fan and they don't got it. That mean that they not planning for it. That mean that their daily activities, that like you living beyond your means. So you got to scramble when something happened, because you're not preparing for it. You're not a rainy day type of person. Like, you know what, I got to keep a little something for the
Look, but
rainy
I'm gonna
day.
tell you, man. Like on a regular salary, living beyond. If you got 2 kids and you out there doing it, everything you do is living beyond your means, bro.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
it could be
about
it could be with one.
I don't know about that.
Nah, because you especially the younger you are, as you get older, you develop more. You know what I'm saying, and you see things more. But if you younger, I would say from 20 to 35. You know what I'm saying? You could be out there like just trying to make it, and then you throw kids in the mix and stuff like that, bro. Like it'll really slow up some shit. You know what I'm saying? And
It'll slow it up if you ain't planning them kids. It'll slow up
yeah,
if you don't have
all that.
have financial, but like so that's the responsibility. So it's easy for us to just be screwing and make a baby because we both like screwing, right? It's easy for us to do that. See, a bit like that whole thing, the Planned Parenthood thing, that's garbage, all right? But the idea of actually being responsible with my actions, that ain't garbage. Because I could say, you know what, okay, Well, we have to, let's say if I'm young, you 20 to 35, let's say you're young, right? And you be like, okay, well, we got one child. We ain't really planning for that. So we working it out. All right, so we gonna do this, and this before we have our second child, because we already realize how much we've been struggling. We've been going through it. You see? So if we don't do that, and we don't have a plan, and we don't look at some stuff that we've been going through and say that we want to do better, then guess what? Then yeah, we're gonna have another child, because it's easy for us to just fuck and a baby be born. And then we not gonna get rid of no babies, right? So we gonna just be like, okay, cool, well, let's just have it. And now we still gotta go through that whole thing, but we haven't studied the thing that we gotta go through to try to make that better, to try to make that easier for us, for everybody, even the new responsibility that we bringing into the world. So it all goes down to that. Now, if an argument is for a person to say, well, who got time to think about all that? Like, then you don't really care. You know what I'm saying? And you don't value seeing yourself getting older and things getting better for you as you get older. Certain things, not everything, but at least my finances, like,
you know,
shit.
I mean, I believe everything that you said with that situation as far as, you know, the right way to do things. But I do believe that there are military families and regular people. They did that. They said, hey, we're going to have this child. You know, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then we have another one. And they'd have another one. Married. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just shacking up. Ain't no baby mama shit going on.
Okay,
None of that shit.
cool.
And they can
We
still,
talking about the finances though.
right, but they can still be struggling. And 9 times out of 10, they're going
They
to be
living beyond their
struggling.
means. If they struggling, they living beyond their means.
So if they living beyond their means, they active duty, they working in the military and stuff like that. They living beyond their means. That means that they not getting paid what the fuck it costs for them to live.
No, that's false. That means that they spending too much money. They spending more than money than they make. They racking up credit card debt. So they living beyond their means. That's what that means.
And I think that what happened, like with families and stuff, you have a lot.
That still ain't no excuse. Like what you about to say is no excuse.
You don't know what I'm about to say.
I do know what you about to say, because you about to make an excuse for them people who doing that shit.
No,
like, and they doing it to themselves.
I'm gonna say it realistically.
It's self-inflicted.
I'm gonna say it realistically. It's not enough money coming into a house. A household
is a
small
get some
kingdom.
more education. So
it's
get
a
some
small
more education
kingdom that you have to run. You know,
get some more skills. You know, like who fault is that? If it's not enough money coming in the house, who fault is that? That's the parents' fault, right? That's the adult's fault.
Yeah, I mean, technically it will be, but I
Ain't
mean,
no technical.
any house, it could be a house to bring in $400,000 a year, and someone would say, still, it's not enough money
because
being
they
brought into
living
this
beyond their means. That's why they doing too much.
I think if you
Real
let that,
shit.
if
you making 400,000 and you got 2 vehicles outside, that's 100 and some thousand. You got a mortgage that's 10 bands a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't make enough money for that. You living beyond your means. Real shit. That the budget is off. They thinking this is the problem. A lot of people have this illusion that just because you can obtain means that you can maintain. And that's the difference between being able to afford some shit and not. Just because I can go get it don't mean I can keep it. And if I can't keep it and keep it up and maintain it, then I cannot afford it. That's the difference.
True. Yeah.
But if I got a credit score, I can go get some shit. If I save up and put some money down, I can go get some shit. But if I can't maintain it and keep it polished, like it looked like it did when I first got it.
Hey, when you young,
then you can't maintain it. You can't afford it.
When you young, maintaining, polishing, and affording a family can be a thing. And you may not have all the answers right then and there. And not saying that you won't get there.
That's what you planning.
Listen, you can get to your 40s and
50s
and have everything right.
Elders.
But when you're
listen
young,
to the OGs. Listen
when
to
you're
the
young
elders.
and doing it, you might not get it. You know what I'm saying? You might not get it to your kids as teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So,
it don't matter, but you still got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But some of the people we talking about now are young people in the military. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily they are horribly like mismanaging their lifestyle, but they might need a motherfucking check. That 1776 check the motherfuckers just got.
No, they don't. No, they
The-
don't.
Did they get a check for 17,000? I mean,
1776, yeah,
$1,776.
1776, yeah.
Yeah, the same day, the same year as the independence.
That was a beautiful thing.
You
You
know,
know, that was
so
a
they got
beautiful
it.
thing.
They got it.
But
On
they
the
didn't
web-
need it.
But on the website, if they didn't need it, on the website, did they have a way, like you said, with the stimulus check for them to return that?
They don't. I'm understanding that they don't do that. That when the government gives money, they expect to just give it. And this is okay. See, to me, this is okay because this was a bonus to our veteran. To our
Because
military.
you are a veteran. But
That's
when
right.
you talked about
That's right.
the
So I'm
people that's
biased.
not veterans,
So
it was
I'm
a whole
biased.
different story. But now that the veterans get it, it's okay.
No. It ain't no different story. I said that they didn't need it. I said they didn't need
So
it.
right now, the veterans don't need it.
No, the veterans didn't get it. Okay, but the
They
active
didn't get the
duty
70
people. No,
Oh,
hell no.
oh, excuse me. The active duty people.
Active
didn't
duty
need it.
people, they know. I don't think they needed it. No,
I don't think nobody will watch this show right now.
You know?
and say
I don't
that's in
think
the
they
military.
needed it.
The military is military personnel.
I could
out there
call
right
up.
now.
I could call up 5 people right now. Matter of fact, when we get off the show, I could call up 5 people right now who are on active duty. All right, and they would tell you they didn't need that money. I don't have to say nothing.
We'll do it tomorrow because I might have to run after the show.
Because I still talk to everybody. I still talk to everybody, man. You know, I'm still highly.
I know how
duly
you do.
respected
I
and
know
connected.
you call
You know
everybody.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
But no, I talked to people who didn't need it, but it was a very good thing. You know, it was something that we never seen done before. So cool. You know, like I don't hate to see my people winning. You know, ever.
But you never seen a stimulus check done
stimulus
before.
checks.
You never seen that done before in your lifetime. We the same age.
Stimmy checks? Nah.
You ain't never seen it done in your life.
Not before whatchamacallit?
But so it wasn't a good thing for regular people, but it's a good thing for the military. Because that's a stimulus check.
It was a good thing
It's a
for
stimulus
people
check
who
that was
needed
stole.
it. It was a good thing for people who needed it, like I said. But it was distributed incorrectly, in my opinion,
Not to be able to give it back.
because there was no way for you to pay it back. Okay, so even with the military thing, if there was they said it was a Christmas bonus. Okay, so cool, all right. But even if there was a way to pay it back, that still would have been cool. I still look at those things like it's some people who don't need it, you know,
Right.
and then there's some people who don't do enough, who only strive to do the minimum requirement. You know, who take an attitude of where my check at? Why you trying to kill us? Because I'm like, there should be some oversight. There should be some balance. People who don't need it shouldn't get it. Okay. So ain't nobody got no problem with that. Ain't nobody problem. People, the people on the bottom was only cool with it because when we talking about the stimmy checks, because they was cool with the fact that like, okay, well, they giving it to everybody. So it ain't like if you made over a certain amount of money, you didn't get it, or this, that, and the third. They didn't discriminate based on your economic status.
I thought they did. I thought if it was under 200, if you made over 250, you ain't get one.
But ain't nobody complaining about that, right?
What if you made over 250, you ain't get one?
Well,
250,000.
like ain't nobody complain over that. Well, they make 250,000. That's way too much for them to be getting some free money anyway.
No,
that just sound like
no.
People,
the only people that has the right to complain about that is the people that make over 250,000. They didn't,
and they didn't complain, right?
Because that shit won't nothing to them.
You know why? Because they didn't need the money.
Right.
That's why. It's not that it's not nothing to them.
So it would.
It's because I wasn't making over 250,000 and I didn't need the money. And
okay, so let me ask you this:
point.
What yearly salary is at the threshold right there? As soon as you cross it, you don't need the money for a stimmy in your pack for what they was giving for the stimmy pack.
I don't know. I have to go look that up. I don't know what the requirement
it was like
was.
1,200. It was like 2 checks or 3 checks of 1,200.
No, that's if you had children. It wasn't for single people. You know, for people that just didn't have any children.
Nah, I think single people got half. They got half of the check. I thought
False.
I'll look it up,
False.
but I thought
I
they
know.
got something.
I know, cause I only got like $1,200 total.
That's all I
Okay.
got. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
like maybe
I
like,
thought it was supposed to be 2 or 3 checks, but that's all I got was 1,200.
but were you claiming any of your babies on taxes?
I got 2,400.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
did. I
see?
got 2,400.
Okay.
Yeah, I
See?
got 2,400. I
So
sure
that's
did.
what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. You know, so that's why I'm like, they did that. They had their requirements for it and so on. But you know, that's that. That's how they ran that. But
Right.
I ain't need it. You know, I did. It wasn't a necessity. I wasn't in dire need. I wasn't destitute where I was just like, man, that money came in a clutch because I ain't know what I was gonna need to do with doing with this and that and the third. No.
Right.
And that's where I'm talking about. People allow themselves to be in them situations. I don't care who it is. You know, it ain't no such thing as we live in a house and there ain't enough money coming in. Well, then people need to bust their ass and do something then to get it to where it's at. You need to adjust your budget or something, or you are living beyond your means for everybody. I don't care how much money you make, because people that make millions of dollars, they be going bankrupt too.
So what happens when the people that really need it have to deal with the person that's supposed to run the agency, and then the agency is not to be trusted because they doing fraudulent shit, like Miss Jones in Atlanta?
Well, I mean, with Miss Jones in Atlanta, I mean, clearly she was benefiting herself. So she wasn't messing with any of the entitlements for the people, the benefits for the people. She was just using her own, she was frauding on her own, using the resources that were available to the people for her own personal little fraud game, you
Right.
know. So yeah, so I mean, she didn't affect any, you know, of the people on Section 8 or in the HUD program. She just was using the HUD benefits. She found a way to kind of like, you know, circumvent and scam certain processes because she
Right.
knew, because she's
And
the
then
vice president, because she knows the gray areas, the spots where people don't look, where they don't check. You know, she knows where they lack in their accountability of the processes. So, you know, so she took advantage of them. She took advantage of them for her use, for her purpose. But that ain't hurt,
yeah,
you
so
know.
she had they said she had the relatives submit false documents, using false identities and shell companies to
Yeah.
conceal the involvement. She collected more than $36,000 in inappropriate Section 8 tied rental properties. She collected $27,000 from of COVID money. Um,
Cause I'm gonna give you 2,500 if you put your name on this thing real quick. Boom, boom, boom.
nah,
Right. And then
nah.
but this is the thing. In the black community, a lot of times you have family members so naive because they see, and then just the black community period, people see material things and thinks that equals some sort of intelligence. Okay? Because they don't understand that you can just obtain some shit. That don't mean you can maintain it. If you just, because I could go get a Benz, don't mean I can afford the Benz. You know? And there's a mindset that emanates through the black community of I remember when I had, well, at least I had it. Well, at least, like, you an old had ass type of person. You ain't a person who values keeping and having, not had. Remember when I had, oh, I had that. Yeah, but you couldn't keep it. You couldn't maintain it. That mean you couldn't afford it. That mean you obtained it, you know. But the victory is to win and keep winning. The goal is to win and keep winning. The goal ain't to be a had been. I had. So because that mindset resonates and these material things, you know, somehow give value to everything, then what happens is you will see that cousin, that sister, that niece, that auntie, whoever the hell they is, that brother, that uncle, with that with that material stuff. Oh, they live in a big house. Oh, you know, they got that good government job. They got that good this. They do that. They drive this. They drive that. They do. Oh, they give money to church. Oh, they do this and do all that shit, right? So then, family members end up being suckers for stuff naively when they get asked to do stuff, and like, she a piece of shit for putting her family in that, for involving her family in that. You know, using their naivety to set them up. Even if she know that, you know, hey, we come from all different backgrounds. So she might be from the hood and she was the first one to go to college, or second or third one, and got a good career and all that stuff. And just like, you know, I still got family that be in the trenches. So me using my family in the trenches to put them in criminal activity, it ain't no different, you know. And she corny for that, so that's why her ass going to jail. So, you know, we gotta do better as a whole, because it's sad for real that Atlanta being this black mecca, we got so many black people down there, you know, leaving a stain on black peoples, you know, doing so much fuck shit. And it's just not cool, man.
She going to jail.
It's just not cool. You know, we need to do better. We need to want to do better, you know, and stop trying to use people and stuff. And especially, like, you know, I ain't saying use nobody, but I mean, damn, you're going to use your family, and now your family got to go through all, you know, people too hype off the Frank Lucas story. Remember Frank Lucas had brought all his cousins carrying on up from down the way? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, family. Why?
Yes, sir.
Because you could trust them, right? Then when they start when they start getting hit with all this time, then what they gonna say? Oh,
yeah, well, she definitely did her family a disservice. I believe most of them will probably get off just because of the influence that she had over them. You know,
nah, she gonna take all her charges. She ain't gonna. Yeah, I mean, if she gonna stand up, she gonna stand up. She gonna say, you know what, you know, I did mislead my whole family. I shouldn't have done that. You know, it wasn't cool. It wasn't right. And she don't have no choice now, because the feds is like, we gonna lock your ass up regardless.
Yeah, well, she was fresh as hell when the feds was watching.
She was fresh as hell when the feds was watching.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. But shout out to 7553 Reese.
Whatever, Reese.
Didn't need to be a part of the episode. You gotta pull up. We'll drop the link next time. I didn't even expect for us to go this long.
Nah, you know? And you know, I didn't either. And but I didn't miss the time at all.
Nah, but definitely though, that you know, that Atlanta story was triggering. You know, and then when we went off to it, you know, I know. As soon as I said something about people not needing a STEMI check, I know. You
knew what you was doing.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna get real liberal around.
Hey, look, hold up, man. We went from what she did all the way to the barracks.
Yeah, we took it back to it.
We absolutely. That was beautiful.
We circled back though.
Yes, sir.
But definitely, y'all, we've been talking about tonight. Just a little quick recap. R.I.P. to Vince Zampella, video game legend. Our condolences to his family, loved ones, and everybody, and the whole gaming community lost a legend. Kansas City Chiefs leaving Missouri, moving down the road to Kansas. Football still gonna be football, and Atlanta VP, you know, the fraud indictment, PPP,
allegedly.
You know, they locking her ass up though. She going to jail.
Yeah, I do think she going down. I don't think
she going to jail.
But I still like to say she is innocent until proven guilty in the court.
You should go down there and represent her.
Ain't nothing I can do for her, man. Nothing I can do for her. I would have went and got a house from her about a couple years ago, but ain't nothing I can do.
Look, man, that would have been gone. The feds would have came and got that. You know,
Shit. I would have been gone already because I ain't trying to stay in a situation that long, you know.
that shit crazy.
Hey, look, we got a whole nother topic on that, man. We got a whole nother topic. You know, listen, before we leave, I do want to say we got another one. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about it when we come back.
For sure. Definitely, y'all. But we want to appreciate everybody for pulling up, hanging out with us on this Friday evening. To check out these topics. Don't forget right now, we got 25% off all merch at the DBCHEFTV gift shop from now until January 5th, 2026. And also check out 1016 160 Self-Sustainability by Ali Dawood El at www.bksoulfarm.com. Links are in the description. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV. Always with
Cold Seasons. That's right.
There you go. And that's how we gonna rock out with it. Peace. Until next time.
Peace.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 Self-Sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
It's the most wonderful time of the year again, where families make new memories, share old memories, and celebrate the new year. So visit the DB Chef TV gift shop for the best stocking stuffers to add to your holiday cheer. Enjoy 25% off our entire site now through January 5th, 2026.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak Podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast, The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube. If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then Brunch with the Fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube. Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigar Panel, smoking on words like two big nerds, hosted by DB Chef TV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at www.dbcheftv.com.